Welcome to Pagan Coffee Talk, a traditional Wiccan podcast where we will discuss topics affecting the pagan community from a traditionalist perspective. The topics we discuss are picked from our magical hat, and the discussions are unscripted. The talks will be led by Lord Chase Knight Smith, Elder and High Priest of Third Degree, and he's joined by Keegan, First Degree Priestess. Pagan Coffee Talk is brought to you by Life Temple and Seminary.
Welcome to Pagan Coffee Talk. I'm Keegan, and as always, Lord Knight.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
You ready for the topic?
Yes, I'm ready.
The topic today is Catachresis, or using words incorrectly, using words not knowing the meaning of the word.
I'm so glad you said it. The other way, it sounds like, a sexual position.
Or a sexual disease. I've got the catachresis. Don't touch me. I've got the
I think they make an ointment for that.
Right. Also called catachresis.
Just putting it out there,
So, what words do you typically hear a lot that people use incorrectly?
Well, first of all, you got to ask yourself why is this topic even important to us?
What's the big deal with you knowing your words and what they mean?
Well, part of most traditionals will sit there and tell you, say what you mean what you say.
Yes.
You don't mix words about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're using a word incorrectly and
mm-hmm.
and trust me, I will speak from experience, you will get your ass chewed out.
Oh, yeah.
Real fast. And if you're not careful, yes, you can insult people.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Because you don't know what a word means.
But you still say it, just willy-nilly, just throwing it out there.
Oh, yeah. A lot of this can be seen, believe it or not promoting any movies or anything here, but let's look back into the future.
Mm-hmm.
Where Marty McFly is talking to the doc.
Yep.
And he keeps on saying words like cool and heavy.
Heavy, yeah.
And the doctor keeps on going, is there something wrong with the gravity in the future?
Right, is something wrong with the gravitational pull?
Well, in the future, is the word, is the world cooler in the future?
Right.
When you don't know the meaning of the words, and especially if you're not part of that community, things can be really awkward.
And dangerous.
Let's talk about the big elephant in the room on this,
yes.
On words, okay? The biggest one I think I hear most people mess up is warlock.
Warlock, absolutely.
Now, I am by no means a warlock.
No.
All right? I'm a witch. But most people seem to want to equate the word warlock with male witch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last time I looked at this word, yes, it did say male witch, but it also had in there, in Old English, blah, 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 it means oath breaker.
Oath breaker. Mm-hmm.
All right? I hate to be this way. It does not mean male witch. The dictionary's wrong on that. And I think all us in the pagan community should reach out and correct them on this.
Well, I think it's one of those words, just because it's said enough, people automatically accept that meaning when it's still an inaccurate meaning. A warlock is an oath breaker.
Well, if you think about it this way, war as in to break or destroy,
mm-hmm.
and lock, which in this context means oath or word, mm-hmm. or you're bound into your word, mm-hmm. which basically roughly translates into oath breaker.
Right.
Hence the reason they were called warlocks. But it wasn't just the men referred to as warlocks. Women were referred to as warlocks.
One who broke an oath.
Right. Because the majority of the times when this was used, when this originally came by, it was the thought that people in the Christian community had broken their oath with God to follow said religion.
Right.
To be witches or emissaries of the devil.
Right. Or he who will not be named. The devil.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Keanu Reeves.
Well, are you offended? I mean, does being called a witch bother you?
Well, first of all, for some reason, over the years, witch has become associated with women.
Why?
Culture?
But y'all were there. I know more male witches than I do female witches.
That is so sad.
It is sad. I know.
It is sad.
It is sad.
But there are male witches out there. I mean, then you got books like Harry Potter, where you have all the girls are referred to as witches, while the boys are referred to as wizards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not right either.
But here's a question. A witch does not have to be religiously affiliated.
Correct.
Neither does a wizard.
Right.
So, why the separation? Women are witches and the men were wizards. And can women be wizards as well?
I would assume so. I mean, this really all goes back to the ancient times where kings and courts were set up. You had wizards and sorcerers and stuff like this.
This is true. I looked this up.
Yeah, I mean, these are all titles and stuff that were given to certain people.
The higher rank you were in the court was
Right.
the name you were given, as opposed to sorcerer or wizard or what have you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
To denounce these people versus someone else in the court.
Right.
You know, normally your sorcerers or wizards would be people who divine the future or cast spells for protections for the kingdom and stuff like that.
Right. I think a lot of times the king had his personal sorcerer.
Right. That was a little bit different than the common person out on the street.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Or even the witch that lived on the hill.
right. Again, if you think about this in an educational system, it could have been, I could be wrong on this, a witch would have been like the equivalent of somebody who graduated from high school, or you have a wizard or a sorcerer who would probably be somebody who went to college or denounced themselves at a higher rank.
Well, I know that's true with the words sorcerer and wizard.
Right.
It is about rank, and I get the two confused. I'd have to look up which is which, but that is true. Yes. Again,
Not my tradition, so don't get me to the line.
Well, just make something up.
No, we don't do that. I mean, but we're still back to the importance of this, knowing your words.
Because if you were to be called a warlock, that would offend you.
Oh, God, yes.
Yes.
Yes. You know, and I don't think it would be more like me stomping off, but if certain people in my temple have probably heard that, somebody referred to me like that, they might go off.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. In 2 seconds.
You know,
yes.
No, where I would probably calmly sit there and explain to the person, no, this is what it means.
No.
You know,
No, that's unacceptable.
I mean, we're still back to one. This is important. The important part on this is, and the reason is that we push knowing your words. Pull out a freaking dictionary.
We do all the time.
You know, matter of fact, some of your first classes, I beat this over your head. You know, don't worry about the Scott Cunningham books or buying any of these books. Buy a dictionary.
Buy a dictionary, yes.
Oh, God, please buy a dictionary.
Yes.
An actual book in your hand dictionary.
Yes.
Don't go look up online.
Really. Get a dictionary. Learn how to use one. Not only will you know your meaning of your words, like you said, but how can you keep your word if you have no earthly idea what you just said?
Right.
And how to pronounce them.
Right. Because, I've talked to a lot of people, and they tried to make themselves sound smarter.
Oh, yeah.
By using more flamboyant words.
Yeah.
Or bigger or more, I don't know, what would you call that? More educated words or bigger words?
Oh, there is a word for that. Hold on, I'll look that up as well. That word is malapropism. And it is when you use an incorrect word to make yourself sound more educated or intelligent, and you come out sounding humorous, nonsensical. It's called malapropism.
Yes.
There is a word for that. There's an actual word for that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
See the things you've learned. Couldn't say that word again, but hey.
We know it. It's
we know
there.
it
exists.
It exists. But I'm sorry, people do that. And you're sitting back and you're using these big old words, and you don't know the people you're talking to.
Even if you did, what point are you trying to make besides you're a blowhard?
Right. I've done a lot of public speaking. I do a lot of classes. And I know for a fact that I try to keep my words as simple as possible when I'm teaching and doing these, because you don't know in a mixed crowd what everybody's educational level is.
No. I think it's more important to you that you relay accurate information so we learn, as opposed to you want to make yourself look good.
Right. Even if I'm just talking to somebody online, I try to talk to them on a level that they can understand, because understanding is more important than me sounding, high and mighty.
I concur 100%, yes.
You really haven't seen me do much of that, except for the other night.
Right. That was so fun.
Oh, it was. As I sit here and try to quit smoking.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes, I did.
But I did, yeah, when you're talking to certain people, when you're saying certain things, yes, be careful what you say. Don't mix words. Don't use them half-heartedly and assume you know what they mean.
Right.
I see a lot of people do that. They've heard certain words used over and over again, and they think they know what it means, and then it turns out they don't. Right.
I think what bothers me is the word, and this has nothing to do with the craft per se, but the word literally. People use this word. I literally couldn't get out of bed. Really? You couldn't. Were you paralyzed from the neck down? Because if not, then you're using the word literally incorrectly, and that drops me bananas.
Literally? It drives
literally? It drives me literally crazy. It just drives me nuts.
Well, now that I know that.
It drives me crazy. I've never heard you. Have I heard you do that? I don't think I've heard you do that.
No.
But I half-assed listen to you most of the time anyway.
Nice to know that.
That's not true. That's not true.
Huh?
It's literally not true. Literally. Know your words. And just because you hear something online, just because somebody says something, if you don't know the meaning of that word, look it up before you say it.
I'm not, but it is not beneath me to be sitting there talking to someone and them use a word I don't know and me go, huh?
What's that mean?
What? I missed something there.
I'm sorry, I don't know every word in the dictionary and the meaning that goes with it. I will say I have no idea what that means.
I will look at him and go, I don't know what in the world you're talking about.
What?
What? I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we can figure out what some words mean by the context in which it's used.
If it's used correctly, but if I didn't know what the meaning of warlock was, and someone was saying, oh, he's a warlock, and I didn't know the meaning, in that context, I could assume that means male witch. So you're just passing down the ignorance.
Yes. Yeah.
And I see that a lot. Oh, I'm a new warlock, or I'm a warlock here. And I'm like, I hope that's not true. I hope you're just using that word wrong.
If you talk to most traditionalists, I'm going to say any that's been at least first degree or more.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking to them. Don't get aggravated when they sit there and they start doing that, stopping what they're saying and kind of like look up or off to the side or like they're deep in thought.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just, okay, I'm picking my words very carefully.
Yes. Yes.
I think our majority joke at the time is I'm only responsible for what I say, not for what you hear.
Yeah, she loved that one.
Because I will sit there and meticulously choose my words and stuff like that.
Yes. And
people will sit there and go and listen. Oh, okay. Yeah. And then 6 months later, but that ain't what you said. No, but here's exactly what I said.
That might not have been what you heard, but that's what I said.
This is what I said. I said, if I remember correctly, here's what I said. Blah, 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 blah. And they'll be like, oh. So, I mean, that's a lot of people's problems nowadays, too, is they don't completely listen. They don't think about each word somebody's saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Or they make assumptions.
Or they make assumptions. Or they get the general idea, then quit listening to you.
Yeah. You go, why did you do that? Where'd that come? Oh, I assumed you meant blah, blah, blah. What'd I say? Right. I say what I mean what I say. Don't assume. You don't have to. I kind of felt like what you said made me feel like this because you meant this. No. I said what I mean what I say.
Because how long did it take you to learn that lesson?
From you? Not long. That's one of them high and mighty important lessons. You learned that real quick.
you learned that real quick. You're because all it takes is that first time was, you hurt my feelings. What did I say to hurt your feelings? Well, you implied. No, I did not imply.
Right.
I don't. Right. Me personally, I don't imply nothing.
No. You say what you mean what you say.
If I'm going to say something rude to you, there is going to be no room for interpretation there.
But, you also give a warning. You'll say, I don't mean to be mean, but. So you kind of give us a warning that you're getting ready to be mean, to be prepared for it.
I don't want to be, but I'm going to be anyway.
So brace yourself. It's coming.
So brace yourself, Effie. I do try to warn y'all, but, and again, this is part of that culture in traditionalists. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like us a lot of times. Because we will look at people going, what?
Oh, yeah.
We will look at somebody and go, you're an idiot. I think you're in the wrong place.
I think you've gotten lost.
Okay, matter of fact, I don't think you're in the wrong place. I know you're in the wrong place.
Why are you talking to me?
Yeah. Now, if you're here and you want to be taught something or learn something, I will be glad to try to help you the best I can.
Sure.
You know,
Neophytes. You love neophytes. There you go.
I love my neophytes.
Yes, you do.
Neophytes are so cute.
Yeah, it's everybody else you just throw in the deep end.
yeah, once more.
We lose our cuteness.
I'm sorry. You're a first degree. You've already learned how to swim.
Good luck. Boom.
Good luck.
Your cuteness is worn off. Need a new toy.
But, you know, I mean, we're still back to this, you know, some of the things that drive us up the wall is because, you know, you'll listen to these people use words incorrectly. I'm sorry to sit there and go, oh, I'm a new witch or I'm a baby witch. And then, oh, well, fine. How long have you been studying? Oh, about a month. Okay, you're a neophyte.
You're not a witch.
All right. Which, again, the word neophyte means?
Seeker of the truth. Seeker of the light. Learner.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Change your name from Keegan to Definition Girl. Definition Girl.
I told you trained me well. I got this.
But, I mean, it helps. It helps with the communication. Because what Lord Men used to always tell me was, language is so weird to begin with.
Yes.
Two lawyers can get into a room and hammer out a contract, right? Mm-hmm. To basically state out what each party's going to do and what's going to happen, the whole 9 yards. And then then you take that same contract, not even 24 hours later, and it would take 20 lawyers to sit and argue about what in the world they say.
There's some truth to that.
This language of lawyers that lawyer uses is very precise language.
Yeah.
There's they leave very little room for quote unquote interpretation.
Right. You're right.
Like I said, you start doing this and people will look at you. Well, this is what I thought you were talking about.
Right.
Was that what I said? Well,
that what I said? Exactly.
No, but you were alluding to, no.
Say what I mean what I say.
Right. You know, there shouldn't be no alluding to.
And that's the great thing, I think, in a coven or a tradition or temple or whatever. We all know that. So I would never think that you were implying something or Oswin was implying something. We all know if we've said it, then that's what we mean. But outside of that, dealing with others, they'll say, well, I thought you meant this, or, well, you assumed or I presumed, and it's like, no. I said this because that's what I meant.
Right.
And if you got something else out of it, that's on you.
Right. Or you didn't get enough out of it.
Stop assuming. Stop presuming. But that's hard. I mean, for me, when people say, well, I assumed you meant this. Well, if I meant that, I would have said it.
Well, and then let's think about this the other way around. When we have people talking to us, where you have to translate or, quote unquote, read between the lines. Mm-hmm. When they're telling you, I'm sorry, that just drives me up the wall.
Yes.
You know, it's a whole lot easier to look at me and go, hey, just between me and you, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I'm having a problem with. Mm-hmm. First of all, you said just between me and you. And first of all, you know, if you're going to get my word on it's just between me and you, that's as far as it's going to go.
Oh, yeah.
To start off with. And that means you can be pretty blunt. Now, if I look at somebody going, you can be more blunt than that.
I've heard you say that.
Don't necessarily have to sugarcoat with me.
Say what you mean.
No. But, I mean, that drives me up the wall to sit there and watch these other people sit there and do that beating around the bush.
Oh, I call it dancing.
And I'm
Dancing
like,
around
oh
the
my
point.
God.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, and then normally somewhere in that conversation, I'll get that. What, do you understand what I mean? Like 15 minutes ago, I was on that on-ramp.
I've been waiting
When
for
you
you.
first opened, I have just been waiting for you to, to shut up so I can go do what I need to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're too lazy to pick up a real book and look into a real dictionary and find out a meaning of a word.
Yep.
And use it correctly. What?
Yeah. But you're going to hold an intelligent conversation with somebody.
Right.
Just going to throw out these words that sound good.
Communication used to be an art form.
This is true. It's true.
And now it's not. It's just... I'm going to read it. Literally. People literally read into your context. People literally... Oh... So you're saying I'm not smart. Did I say that?
If I want you to know that I think you're not smart, I'll say that.
I'll say that. But me looking at somebody going, I think you need to study more upon that, doesn't mean I don't think you're smart. It just means I think you need to study that subject more.
That's what that means. You know why? Because you say what you mean.
That's what I just said.
What do you mean by that, Lord Knight? I mean what I just said.
What did I just say? That you might want to study that subject a little bit more. I didn't say you're a complete idiot.
So you have patience with people like that, or just neophytes? And then after that, I'm so done with people.
Look, there you go. There you go. Anything else you'd like to know about wordage?
I think that's it. I think we covered it.
All right. Well, I believe we're out of coffee now.
I'm out of coffee.
Thank you for listening to Pagan Coffee Talk. I hope you join us next week.
We travel down this trodden path, a maze of stone and mire. Just hold my hand as we pass by a sea of blazing pyres. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning breaks. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning breaks.